Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. It's actually 3:15. I have been running late every morning for the last week, and you guys can probably figure out why. This is no bull. Things have been activity. There's been activity, unexplained activity in my apartment. I'm wondering if there's other apartments that are having this issue. Last night, nothing really happened, although I've talked about this in another video before. This happened again last night. This plug for the kitchen sink keeps falling into the sink no matter where I put it. I mean, I could put it a foot away from the sink on the counter, and it ends up falling into the counter. And how this is happening, I have no freaking idea. But it's really starting to make me angry because it's affecting my schedule and my YouTube videos. Because I'm having a hard time sleeping, and then I end up actually falling asleep right before I usually get up at 2 a.m. I said I wasn't going to talk about that, so we're just going to leave that there. Okay, this incident with a video. I got to be very careful about how I talk about this. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to use this guy's picture on the thumbnail. I'm sure YouTube has tweaked its algorithms and its surveillance. It's watching it. It's policing its channel after this incident that happened about a day or two ago. This 32-year-old man, Justin Moan, made a video. He's got several videos, and he lives in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And apparently, he does have. I'm not a medical professional, but I'm guessing he's got some serious mental health mental health issues going on. He was ranting about his militia, Moan's militia, and he's got a very right-wing rhetoric about traitors to the country and Joe Biden this and all this other stuff. But then something really bizarre happened in one of his videos, and this video got 5,000 views before YouTube finally noticed what was going on, or they were alerted to what was going on in the video. Apparently, he did away with his father, and in the bathtub, and in the video, he holds up his father's head. I don't know how else to say this. Just his head in the video. And he downloaded it onto YouTube. And 5,000 people watched this before YouTube. Now, this freaks me out because I've talked about, if I say the slightest freaking thing, or I'll get into that in a second. So he holds up his father's head in the video, and it's on YouTube for everybody to watch. Okay, now I'm sure YouTube is catching, and its parent company, Alphabet, is catching some flack today. I think all the platforms are going to be a little uptight for the next week or two after this incident. I got some ideas on this. I've talked about this before with smaller channels. I have this channel and I have my other channel, Staying Clean. On this channel, I'm coming up on 750,000 total views. I've got 4,000 subscribers. I got 17,000 views. This is from my algorithms just yesterday. I got 17,000 views in the last 28 days, which isn't bad. It's a small channel, but it's getting bigger. I'd call it a small to medium channel. My other channel, Staying Clean, is what I call a small channel. It's got I got about 300 subscribers now, and I don't know how many views. This channel is monetized, so there's a lot more. It's double. It's watched double because every day when I download my video, I monetize it. I go through a checklist of the stuff that's if I swear at all, everything I talk about. If I talk about certain protected groups, I have a checklist every single day. And when I download the video, I go through like a 12-point checklist. Is this in the video? Is this in the video? Is this in the video? And I can only check 5 of those things, and I have to be very specific. It's only certain circumstances that I could talk about these things. So I'm guessing here that Justin Moan's channel definitely wasn't monetized. When they're putting advertising on your channel, they watch it a lot more closely. And I talked about this in another video. Because millions of videos are getting downloaded every single day, they're using algorithms. Now, here's the thing. Algorithms are made to spot things that are offensive. They think that people, because people program AI, artificial intelligence, and they program it to find stuff that they think people are going to be offended by. Like one of the videos I did that just got 4,000 views, the rope video, the demon rope video. I don't know if people have noticed. I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but I got a few complaints that my man parts were somewhat visible in the video. So I didn't even realize this because I wear workout pants, and I made the video. And sometimes, sometimes you could see what God gave me. And there's another video that I got complaints on, the haunted tunnel video. I was wearing a pair of shorts. I was biking. They weren't biker shorts. They were cut off jogging pants. And you could, just in the picture, you could make out, what I was born with. And I've actually had YouTube videos taken down. I've been suspended on Facebook with no intention of doing anything wrong, just by appearing on the video the way I was born. And this is the issue I'm getting to, where people have gotten so uptight about sex, but violence is okay. Violence is, you can see all the violence you want on TV. You can see shooting and bombing and everything, any movie. But God forbid they show a nipple or a butt cheek or anything that anybody was born with, or two guys kissing or whatever. Love and the way God created us are the most offensive things that, it's bizarre the way that we have things, the things that people are offended by. And now I think artificial intelligence is programmed in that manner. This is what came to mind this morning. When people say they didn't have this on their bingo, I don't mean to make light of this, but when people say, well, I didn't have that on my bingo card, well, artificial intelligence did not have this on its bingo card, so to speak. The artificial intelligence, I think it wasn't programmed into it, that if somebody happens to hold up a body part in a video, that maybe it should be flagged. Nobody thought to program artificial intelligence to be on the lookout for body parts in videos. I mean, just not with the body, separate from the body, not attached to the body. Like I said, I don't mean to be light of this, but that's how I think this happened. And I talked about this in other videos. The smaller your channel, because there's no way, with millions of videos being downloaded every single day, of course, YouTube is going to pay more attention to the channels that are making money, the bigger channels, the channels that more people are watching. That's, honestly, it just makes sense. If there's literally millions of people sending in videos like me every day, and they can't hire millions of people to watch this, so they have artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence just was not programmed to be on the lookout for a man holding up his father's head. I hope I could say this. Okay, I think you guys understand what I'm saying there. Like I said, I've been flagged several times. It works in the opposite direction with me too sometimes, because I have artificial intelligence flagging me for things that it misunderstands. I've talked about how I was suspended for a week simply because I showed a trailer to a popular nationwide movie about racism. And a dozen other channels showed the exact same clip with the exact same title. But because mine's a smaller channel, an algorithm saw it and flagged it because it didn't realize, it thought I was speaking badly about this. It didn't realize it was a movie. It worked the opposite against me. It worked negatively against me because sometimes, artificial intelligence just doesn't have a rational thinking human mind. I know I'm explaining this. I'm mansplaining this like a 58-year-old dude, but okay. Now on to the next thing. Right wing. Yeah, I'm gonna blame the right wing for this too. Look at everything they're talking about these days. It's a violent rhetoric. There's two things they're talking about in the last 2 days, and both of them involve a war on this, war on that, or the country being destroyed or taken over. And I think that when people are mentally defective and they start having paranoid fantasies, this appeals to them. This makes sense to them, and they take it to an extreme, a bizarre irrational extreme, but an extreme. I think, you know, the right-wing rhetoric appeals to mentally deficient people. I don't know how else to put it. In the last 2 days, I'll have the links down to this below. They've talked about the war on the border, civil war, and all this other stuff. All the truckers going down and defying Biden's orders, you know, starting an actual civil war. And there's repercussions when you talk smack like this, when you are constantly getting people fired up and scared and paranoid about situations. And even Trump on January 6th, you got to go down there and fight for your country, get your country back. And look what, you know, this violent rhetoric, this is what the far right does, you know. And like I said, I got a comment yesterday because I said only people from the MAGA crowd use the word woke. The rest of us just call it being a decent, compassionate, tolerant human being. And I got a comment from an obvious right-winger that said, ooh, you know, it was all paranoid, that neoliberalism and Marxism wears a smiley face on purpose. Ooh, you know, like I'm being nice and kind to people, you know, and not judging them for their sexual orientation or their color. But that's because I have evil thoughts in my mind, you know. It's a paranoid, you know. I'm actually up to no good. You know, I'm trying to do away with capitalism, and I don't know. You know, it's all paranoid fantasies with the right. Another thing they brought up in the last couple of days is this war on Taylor Swift. There's going to be a link down below. I talked about this yesterday. One of these right wingers, this guy, what is his name, Greer, who actually in his title, in his name on Twitter, calls himself. I can't remember his whole name, Greer, 6'2". He lists his height and his IQ. You know, what a freaking insecure dork. I found another one today. The link will be down below. And he's talking about Taylor Swift. His name's Justin Barragana. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he's talking to a crowd of people. The link will be right down below. And he's talking to a crowd of people. You know, we got to be worried about Taylor Swift because she's getting people to register to vote. How insidious is that? You know. And then he says, well, don't worry. We have Ted Nugent, Kid Rock, and John Voight. You know, I'm like, oh my God, what kind of flex is that? And you know, that goes to show how old these Trump supporters are. I'm 58 years old, and you know, Ted Nugent I saw Ted Nugent when I was like 12. It was literally over 40 years ago. You know, they think this is a flex. So they might have Taylor Swift, but we got Ted Nugent, Kid Rock, and John Voight. John Voight's what? Like it is almost 90 now? Yeah, and he's serious. He's freaking serious about this. How out of freaking touch the right is, and all this violent rhetoric. And that plays a part. It really, you know, I know, you know, people disagree with me, but I believe that plays a part in Justin Moan and his father's head. Justin was arrested a couple miles away at a National Guard installation, and he was carrying a weapon. And he was arrested for something to a corpse, something. You know, disassembling a corpse or something like that. Yeah, so that's the news. That's what I think about this. All right, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree with me or not? What do you think? I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a great Thursday.